Yo, Descendants, Augiesaint here, and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we need to talk about Serena and the Malevolent yet again. This thing is absolutely crazy. If you guys saw in my previous video, we actually just fully built it out for like weak point. However, after quite a bit of testing and stuff, we went from weak point multi-hit. The blades don't actually scale off weak point. So in this video, I want to share with you guys, this is a full elemental build. This is going to be utilizing the Malevolent alongside with the Serena gun build as well. So if you guys want a screenshot in depth, there you go. There's your chance for the Serena build. And then there is a chance for the Malevolent build. But if you want to know why we're actually doing all this stuff, then stick around for the video. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the build for the Malevolent. This one is focusing fully on chill. Now you could obviously switch this out as well, and you could go like toxic or something like we have over here for the boss. As you guys see over there, we're able to kill the boss in like 7 seconds using the weak point and the toxic build. So this is like really the only build you need in the game. The AoE on this Malevolent is absolutely insane. It just blasts straight through Void Erosion 30 with Serena solo. I've gotten about a 2.5 minute run so far without even really trying to like speed run it. So if you really try and speed run it, I think you could get consistently around 2-minute runs. If your aim is really good and you don't get, you know, shitty spawns or something like that, you don't get stuck at any doors or whatever, the damage is there. It's absolutely crazy. That's why I highly recommend getting this build set up. On the Malevolent, you can get up to 3 copies of this thing completely free from the battle pass. And if you want to get the last 2 copies, you do have to go ahead and actually buy the premium battle pass. I do have a video up on the channel showing you how to level up really fast if you do want to go ahead and get it. I do suggest it. However, if you do want to wait, I believe later on, the Malevolent will actually come to that vendor. So you don't have to actually pay for it right now. If you wait a few weeks or a few months, we'll actually do the next update for the vendor guy. It will eventually go to the vendor and you can eventually just earn it that way. So if you want to wait, 3 copies of this thing is more than enough right now. Just go ahead and absolutely delete everything in the game. The mobbing is so good on this thing with Serena's AoE on her 4th ability. You can actually compare it to Innis. It's actually better than Innis mobbing because I'm able to solo the Spec Ops hard modes like way faster than what I could before on Innis. This thing is just absolutely crazy on just how it's synergized with Serena. So let's go have a look at the mods again. I'll try not to go over them too much. We have Snowflake Conductor, Chill Circulation, Chill Enhancement, and Chill Priority. This is all just for increased chill elements. We go have a look at our chill. We're at 280,000 chill, and the blades do all scale off of that chill as well. And then with Serena's 4 proc, the blades will also proc the AoE explosion from her 4 ability. That just makes it crazy, crazy strong. We do have Fire Rate, Action Reaction, Rifle Reinforcements. Those are like the 3 mods that you use on pretty much every single gun build. We have Charge Amplification there just to boost a bunch of firearm attack. Since we aren't going to be focusing on crit damage, we're getting straight flat firearm damage as well as element damage. We do have Expand Weapon Shards for increased magazine. And then Weapon Tuning over there for increased magazine and firearm attack, since we don't want any of the crit damage or the weak point damage that you get from the other magazine mods. So we're just getting flat element and damage as much as we can, and that's why we have it set up the way we do. If you go have a look at the weapon rolls, you want to get chill on the top core, firearm attack, chill attack, and then double fire rate cores. And then for the actual rolls on the weapon, you want to get chill attack, rounds per magazine, firearm attack, and then bonus firearm attack versus the Legion of Darkness, because that's the only really challenging enemies left in the game. Even they are very weak now with Serena. Everything else, you can even just keep it on chill. You don't have to match the element at all. Chill just goes out and wipes out everything in the game. There's nothing that can withstand the damage from the Malevolent along with the Serena. So let's have a look at what we're running on Serena. For our Reactor, we just have cooldown duration. Doesn't matter anything else there. We literally only care about the cooldown and the duration. Running 2 pieces of the Ascending set, mainly just because they have really good stats, and their 2 set bonus is not bad either. Do have reduced skill cost over there, but we're just mainly trying to get as much HP as possible. So max out HP on the top line 646, and then the bottom line over there as high as you can get it, 914. I think that might actually be max on that one. So very fortunate there, but this one does need quite a bit more MP. If I can get some more MP there and MP recovery modifier, that would help me out so much. However, the build works perfectly fine with this like little bit of MP we do have. And then for the last 2, we're just going with HP on Annihilation and the Slayer again just for HP. The rest of the rolls doesn't really matter there. Then if we come have a look at our actual Serena build, you see this is called our Speed Gun Mob. We are running him. You don't need to run him. This is just nice because it does give you a nice little speed boost when you use your him, which is like the way that you actually reload, and you will dash. And you also do need to use this to proc your multi-talent, because you can see we've changed this up a little bit now. We are actually running multi-talented. If you have a look at our 4, the cooldown is 33.5 seconds and the duration is only 24 seconds. So you won't actually get this full uptime unless you make use of multi-talented. And by using multi-talented, we can drop the 2 focus modules, so actually free up a slot for an extra module. That's why we've gone with increased shield over there, overwhelming shield. We've got amplification for control there just for a little bit more shield as well as to increase our range. And then we will be getting some more range in the Arche Tuning tree. Then we also do have maximized duration, skill extension just for as much duration as possible with MP conversion, nimble fingers. Those are our main two cooldown mods, and then obviously using Multitalented. The way Multitalented works is depending on what skill you use, like what type it is. Here there, when using a dimension active skill cooldown is minus 20.5% for 5 seconds. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit your him to proc a dimension skill, and then for the next 5 seconds or so you will get that increased cooldown. So just make sure you do press the him beforehand, and also you have to make sure you don't have any other buffs. Otherwise, let me show you guys what I mean. So one is a singular skill. You can see there the little buff to the left of our character with those 3 little circles. That is a different version of Multitalented. So you have to wait for that to run out if you have used that skill recently. Now we're going to use him. You can see him there shows like the cooldown version. That is the little buff you want to be up before you actually go ahead and press your 4. So I'm going to press the buff and I'm going to go into the character screen and show you the cooldown on our ult. And see now it's actually 11 seconds. So the cooldown is half of the duration. So you can pretty much just toggle it whenever you want. So we can go back like that. The cooldown has gone back because we lost the buff. So that's how Multitalented works. Make sure you him before you use your 4. And also the him is going to put you in the air. You see over there, if you hit it again, it doesn't insta-proc again. So just make sure you do have the buff on the left there before you press your 4. So go ahead and press our 4 in the air. And now we actually have the massive damage buff there. And as you can see, the damage on this is just crazy. You can also just use your him to reload. Throw your 1 for infinite ammo, and it just goes bananas. Look at the damage, it's crazy. And those are also maxed out enemies, by the way. Let me show you guys here. Laboratory settings 260. They are Legion of Darkness, so they are weak to chill, and we do have the darkness roll of them, but the damage on that is just absolutely bonkers. But just make sure that you do use the him first of all to proc the dimension buff, so the cooldown of Multitalented, and then within that 5-second window go ahead and use your redemption. And also make sure you are in the air, because if you're not in the air it's going to give you the prayer of redemption, which is just like a heal. You want to get the redemption's judgment, which is going to give you the bottom buff as you can see down below, and that does scale with your HP and the range. As you can see, we have increased the range to 14.9 meters. We have a little bit of range over there from amp control. We will be picking up the rest of our range in the Arche Tuning board. Then if we have a look at the Arche Tuning board, we're going to go to the right over here to pick up this range. As you can see there, our skill effect range is at 34%. I don't believe this actually counts in on the Descendant, so like when you look at your skills and stuff, it doesn't actually account for that, I don't believe, but the range is there. So as long as we don't exceed the range, which we don't, we actually can get quite a bit more range, but we have enough range to go ahead and wipe out everything. So it doesn't really matter. Especially with the discs bouncing around, then they like explode and they explode off each other with their 4. It's just craziness. Serena will wipe out the map. She doesn't care about anything. And we also do have some firearm attack. And what we're mainly trying to go for is all the HP nodes. So you work yourself all the way down for HP, you get a massive amount of HP there. And you also get shield because we are running the overwhelming HP thingy, where it consumes your shield to actually convert into HP. So if you have a look at our HP, you see we're actually at 35,000 HP with all of the HP we have from there. The Arche Tuning, and then also our modules. We are running double HP mods, increase HP and stim accelerant for as much HP as possible. Now let's actually go have a look at our inversion reinforcements. We are running chill focus rounds, very important. This is going to be a lot of damage increase, especially because it's going to give you enhanced focus rounds, reducing all the attribute resistances, and that stacks up to 5. And then next up, we are running biodensity augment. This is going to give you more HP. This gets us to about 38,000 HP with it all fully stacked up, so it's going to give us a crazy amount of damage boost. And then lastly, we are running the evolutionary cutting mechanism. This is to give us increased cogs, give us +3 to the cogs, especially if you don't have it maxed out. Like if you don't fully have the battle pass maxed out yet, I would highly suggest picking this up. Even if you do have it maxed out, that's just a crazy amount of extra damage you'll be getting. Because more cogs means more explosions that will all be scaling off of Serena's HP and her 4, and it just ends up being a crazy amount of damage. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you find it helpful. You can go out there and farm all the void erosions, farm up all the cores you want. I believe tomorrow there's actually going to be a hotfix little update that's going to increase the drop rate of the cores, so stay tuned for that. So rejoice for that. You do have the build now to go ahead and absolutely just destroy it solo. If you ever struggled before, now you have the winning formula. I believe you could even take the Malevolent and put on any other element. If you are struggling in some of the previous voids like electric or toxic, whatever, it's actually built as a toxic weapon innately, because it does have some toxic on it. So it's a really strong toxic weapon. You can pretty much just change the element depending on what you need it for. But that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful and you liked it. If it helped you out, please drop a like and sub the channel, as it helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint now.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the